everybody for being here. Right outside these windows are the doors of Thomas Jefferson High School. And for many people who walk through those doors, it's not just a door to a physical structure. It is literally the pathway to the American dream. I'm the first child of an immigrant ever elected Attorney General of Virginia. And I've said before, if your family came to this country seeking hope and opportunity, there's a good chance your family is a lot like my family. It means that I also recognize, as a child of an immigrant, the immigrant story. So much of that is that you as an immigrant oftentimes are having to give up your own dreams, your own aspirations, to seek freedom in this country, but you have this burning desire, an overwhelming desire, to see your child succeed, because it was denied to you, sometimes because of your religion, your faith, or sometimes just because of who you are. When the news broke right before Christmas that at Thomas Jefferson High School, Science and Technology have been holding National Merit Awards for qualifying students and their families, it broke my heart. I cannot imagine the agony as a parent. Too oftentimes your child's joy is your joy. To see that joy robbed from your child. Particularly when, if you're the immigrant family, oftentimes English is not even the language spoken in the homes. You know that doorway at Thomas Jefferson High School is that doorway to the American dream. I want to be clear for everyone assembled today. To the extent that withholding of any of these awards at Thomas Jefferson High School was based on race, national origin, or any other protected status under the Virginia Human Rights Act, that is unlawful. That is why I'm announcing today that my Office of Civil Rights is opening an investigation into this very issue. If the law was broken, my office will both protect and vindicate the civil rights of Thomas Jefferson students and their family. The National Merit Award is a recognition and such a valuable tool in our college application process for earning merit-based scholarships to pay for the ever-increasing cost of college. I can tell you, as somebody who worked all 4 years of school, how are you going to pay for college can be as stressful as wondering how you're going to get in. I cannot imagine as a parent having a situation where my child has been denied and not been told winning a National Merit Award, which opens the door and the pathway to millions of dollars in college scholarships. By one count, over 800 scholarships available to students that are National Merit Award winners. And so right now, according to reports, it's been too late to include this information for applicants. Too late for them to have access to potential millions of dollars in scholarships. This failure to notify deprived these students of walking out the door of Thomas Jefferson High School on the pathway, possibly to the college of their dream that they can perhaps afford. For decades, Thomas Jefferson High School has been a model of excellence and high achievement. It is widely recognized as the single best high school in the entire country. And it does not just compete with other high schools in America. It competes with high schools around the world. It is really and truly one of the jewels of the Commonwealth of Virginia. The idea at Thomas Jefferson High School is to have the most talented high schoolers and provide them with the opportunity to further refine their skills in science and technology and excel. Sadly today, our announcement is not just on the National Merit Award. It's also to change the Thomas Jefferson's admissions policy that has undermined the excellence in favor of a system engineered to achieve the school system of preferred balances on the races rather than actual racial equality. And instead of equality of opportunity, it's instead equality of outcomes. The controversial admission policies at Thomas Jefferson, which have significantly decreased the amount of Asian American students enrolled in recent years, is another example of students being treated differently because of their ethnicity and race. I met with some parents from Thomas Jefferson High School, and a mom told me, my daughter has done everything right since the first grade. Straight A's every year. And I'm realizing that I'm gonna have to sit my daughter down and tell her, you're being denied your dream, your aspirations, your dream of one day attending Thomas Jefferson High School, not because of anything you have done, but simply because of who you are, because of your race and your ethnic background. Every American, every Virginian should be outraged that a child in Virginia today is being denied their dreams because of their racial background. Period. I have said before, in America, about the only state-sanctioned form of bigotry is anti-Asian bigotry, and it is wrong, and we're going to hold folks accountable. That's why I'm also announcing today an investigation for my Office of Civil Rights into Thomas Jefferson's admissions policy. Using race, national origin, or any other protected class under Virginia's Human Rights Act as a factor to determine admission to one of our top high schools is wrong and is unjust. Racism and race-based government decision-making in any form is wrong and is against who we are as a people and who we are as a nation. And I intend to get to the bottom of this through my Office of Civil Rights investigation. Now, I want to make sure I'm clear. Today's announcement is in no way a reflection on the absolutely exceptional, amazing Thomas Jefferson students and their families, or their impressive achievements, because my office exists to ensure fairness, equality, and justice under the law. And I will work tirelessly to ensure those principles are adhered to by Thomas Jefferson's administration and the Fairfax County Public School. Anything less is unacceptable and indeed unlawful. We cannot allow those to define equity as actually a war on achievement, because equity without excellence is emptiness. Today is the first step on a long journey to restore excellence, transparency, and merit to the #1 high school in the nation, right here in our beloved Virginia. I want to personally thank the parents standing behind me, who've had their own children denied some of their dreams and recognitions because of some of the policies according to the reports that have been made public. I want to thank them for speaking out. As I told them before we came out here today, discriminating against individuals because of who they are and their race is the worst of America. By showing bravery and nobility and speaking out, in many ways, they're showing the very best of what America is. Stand here before you, thanking them. I'm also thanking you all for your interest, and I'm happy to take some questions from the audience, or they've indicated they'd be willing to answer some questions as well. Yes, sir.
Just right off the bat, let me make sure I understand what you're mentioning. I understand OCR and the admission. Are you having a second separate investigation?
Yes.
And then, I guess just to follow up on that, in terms of the merit awards, what reason do you have right now to think that there would be racial animus in the fact that those certificates were not handed out now?
Well, if you read according to the news reports that's in the public, there's some indication that they denied issuing the national merit recognition because some other students may be hurt and would not be fair to them. And so we're going to get to the bottom of this. That's why we have the investigation, specifically to see whether there was a racial component. But I want to be clear that looking at how they handle the National Merit Awards is one component. The second component is dealing with the admissions policy of Thomas Jefferson High School, which, since they have adopted a new admissions policy, has seen a significant drop in the admission of Asian American students at Thomas Jefferson High School. And we're going to see if that is in violation of the Virginia Human Rights Act, which is our principal anti-discrimination law in Virginia. Yes, sir.
Welcome to Korean Community Center. I think this is my first time to see all kinds of mainstream media. And my question is there any special reason why you having this press conference here? Because of this facility is near the Thomas Jefferson, or because this issue is connected to Korean American community? Yeah.
Well, it's obviously very important in the Korean American community, and we were able to have this press conference here. I know this is one of kind of the center places for the Korean community here in Northern Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought the symbolism was very, very important, because so many of my friends in the Korean community, they were raised the same way I was, which was education is the key to this country. My mother fled Cuba, literally penniless and homeless and not knowing where her next meal was going to come from. And her dream in Cuba was to be adopted. That was denied her. She left when she was 19. And as so many immigrants know, your passion is to see that your child does not have those same dreams and aspirations denied. That's what's so amazing about this country. I love to say America is a nation of second chances. We've given more second chances to more people of every race, color, and creed than any country that has ever existed. And so, knowing that education opportunity is that doorway for the American dream, I thought it was so important to be within eyeshot of Thomas Jefferson High School here in a community that so values the educational opportunity to the American dream. And so it's an honor that they would open up the Korean Community Center here, and it's an honor to be here.
And then the investigation already started, or you gonna start the investigation? What's the timeline?
The way the process works is we sent a formal letter to the superintendent of the school system and the principal of Fairfax High School, of Thomas Jefferson High School, announcing that we are conducting an Office of Civil Rights investigation. We're obviously seeking their cooperation. If for some reason that they are choosing not to cooperate, then we have under the law subpoena power to get the information we need. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. This business involving the admissions test, it went through the courts. The parents filed suit in 2020, and in 2021, a judge denied their preliminary injunction. So why open it up again?
So what you're referencing to is a lawsuit based on federal law, the 14th
No,
Amendment.
so,
This is state law,
yeah.
Virginia Human Rights Act,
It's a
and that
state-
has not been ruled. They had a ruling in favor of the parents at the district court level.
Right.
A 3-judge panel ruled against the parents. Now it's in front of the full Fourth Circuit, but that's on federal law, equal protection grounds. This is specifically state law in the Virginia Human Rights Act. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so in your remarks, you referred to it a number of times as the National Merit Award that was denied or withheld from these students. But I just want to make sure you're aware and clarify that the Commended Scholar designation is not the same. It's a lower tier than the semifinalist and the finalist designation.
Correct.
And the Commended Scholar students are not eligible to compete for the majority of the scholarships. So I just, I've spoken to a number of parents at TJ as well as a local college admissions counselor who says that this would not necessarily make or break a college application. In your remarks, you had said that, this denied students from getting into a college, but I've spoken with a number of people who say this wouldn't make or break an application. What is your response to all that?
First of all, it applies to the top 3% of students nationwide. Out of 1.5 million high school seniors, only 50,000 get this recognition. And if it is not important, then why do schools use this, the number of students that National Merit Award finalists, why do they use it when they get their own recognition for that high school? So the public schools are happy to take it to try to boost their own rankings, but then denying that to the individual students. I think that's wrong. Yes, sir.
Do you understand, or do you know how long exactly the commendations were withheld, or the notification of the commendations?
Some public reports says these have been withheld as long as 2017, some public reports, but that's why we're doing our investigation to find out exactly how long it has been.
Last question.
Attorney General, on the surface, do you think any laws were broken?
Well, I will tell you what I told everyone that works for me in any investigation, whether it's Loudon, whether it's a parole board. The 2 aspects I want, the qualities of people investigating, is I want you to be fearless and I want you to be deliberate. Those are the 2 qualities I want. And so, to get to the right answer, we gotta be able to ask the right questions. We're gonna ask those questions. We're gonna get to exactly what happened, because I think the people of Virginia and the parents standing behind me, that have shared some heartbreaking stories, they deserve those answers. And so we're gonna get to that answer, and we're gonna then provide all of that to the public, because sunlight is indeed the best disinfectant. But I appreciate it.
Thank you all, that's all we have time for.
Excuse me, do you know how many students are actually affected by the Delaney's or?
I don't have that number off the top of my head. At TJ? Yeah, I'd have to look that up.
Xong.
The 11th grade took the test last year, right?
Không có
And
tại
then
vì
maybe 11th,
bây giờ
maybe they are around 300 people. And then some of them maybe awarded the national medal, and some the same time finalists for semi. And then now the problem is commending students, right? They are commending students. They are, you don't know the number, but
Yeah, I'd have to, I don't want to say the wrong number. I'd have to look it up on, because I don't know it off the top
they're
of my head.
locally, because I need to know what's the percentage, you know.
Yeah. It's on the website, I think, or, you know, on the TV website or something.
Not Parks, right?
Sorry?
Oh, which media?
I'm with News 4.
News 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
NBC. Yeah.
NBC today, ABC, CBS is here today.
Yeah, my, yeah, he was sitting right here.
CBS was here.
Yeah.
Oh, so because I want to write down all the media.
Okay.
What do you think of this commission?
I didn't really get a chance to see it. It's nice.
Yeah, this is Korean commission. He prepares it.
Lovely to meet you.
Không, chị nói có chút xíu à.
Này báo em có lo tin vụ này nè.
Dạ đúng rồi, hồi chị hỏi.